Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Breaking Shan podcast. I am Zishan Bakhtiar, and today we're here with a special person, our guidance counselor, and we're gonna ask her some great questions so we can get some inspiration from her and some background of how to get into guidance and what guidance department has to go through on a day-to-day life. So let's get started. Hello, Miss Jennings. How are you feeling today?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. I believe this is your prep, or maybe, I don't even know if counselors have prep periods.
Well, we do, but not really. We don't always get a chance to take our prep. That's kind of part of our daily routine, trying to carve out some time to take care of ourselves, but we're certainly busy all the time. But it's an honor to be here, so thank you for asking me.
Thank you. So we have some questions down for you, and we just want to, get to know you better and the guidance department and how, what guidance counselors usually have to go through on a day-to-day life. So we're gonna just start by introducing you. So can you just introduce yourself and share how long you've been in the guidance career?
Sure. My name is Shea Jennings, and I am a school counselor here at Atlantic City High School. I've actually been here. This is my third year. However, I started being a school counselor at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. School Complex here in Atlantic City. So in total, this is my 12th year in the counseling profession.
Oh wow, 12-year in counselor. So you've been you started here 3 years ago,
Yes.
and before that you were at the MLK school in Atlantic
Yes,
City.
correct.
That's great. So what inspired you to get into counseling?
So I have my undergrad in English education. So once I graduated from Temple with that degree, I became a middle school ELA teacher at Chelsea Heights.
Oh, you were a teacher?
I was, yes.
Oh wow.
And then after that, I became a district-wide middle school literacy coordinator. And I felt like I enjoyed that, but I wanted to get an opportunity to relate to students in a more personal way. And although I love English, I will continue to be a reader for the rest of my life. I felt like this would be a path that was more aligned with what I wanted to do. So a friend and I kind of did some research to see what programs were available locally, and we didn't really find anything that we liked locally. And so we found Wilmington University, and that's in Delaware. And we committed to driving an hour and a half, maybe one time a week, and we pursued that program and we got a degree, and so here I am.
So once you became an ELA teacher, that was basically 4 years of undergrad. So
Correct.
did you go to grad school after that to get your counseling?
Yeah, so not immediately. I took maybe 4 years off, and or 2.5, something like that. And then I decided I wanted to be a counselor. And when I did the research, I found that I needed to have a master's in school counseling. And so when I found the appropriate program for that, I started, and I got a master's.
Wow, that's amazing. Um, so first of all, congratulations. Recently, you were counselor of the county
Yes, thank you so
by the
much.
Cape Atlantic Schools Guidance Association. So
Yes.
how do you feel about that?
It was very shocking and
Did
unexpected.
you know anything that could, like anything like that coming towards you?
Well, not for me, no, but
Okay.
we do get the emails telling us that every year there will be a county counselor that is recognized. And so I generally nominate someone else.
Yeah.
But when I got the email saying that I had been selected as this year's recipient, I was quite shocked.
Well, that's amazing. Have you ever got any type of awards or any type of recognition like that before?
As a school counselor at MLK, I was selected as the Educational Service Professional of the Year.
Oh, wow.
So yes,
That's amazing.
but this is
What's
a little different. This is
Yeah,
different.
this
That's
is the
on the
big.
school
That's just
level.
the school. This is the county. You
and
have a
I
whole.
and I was honored to get that award as well. So just to get the Counselor County of the Year award, that was exceptional, and just I'm very grateful.
That's amazing. So this is one moment that would, make you really proud. Is there a different moment in your counseling career that makes you really proud of?
I don't know that I can narrow it down to one in
Yeah,
particular. Every day really is a different experience. And I think that's one of the joys of being in the school counseling profession because I do like routine, I do like structure.
yeah,
However, just being able to be flexible and know that every day is a new challenge or a new opportunity to relate to another student really does bring joy and
yeah,
it's really exciting. So I can't narrow it down to one specific moment,
yeah.
but a lot of times when I'm out, just enjoying my personal life, and I
Yeah.
run into a student, a former
Uh-huh.
student, and I say to them, "You look really, really familiar. Did you go to whatever school, fill in the
Yeah.
blank?" And they're like, "Yes, Miss Jennings," and they remember me, and I see them doing well. I really do get the pleasure of seeing the impact of not just me, but the district in general.
Have you had any of your former students come back and visit you, or in the school you've seen them around?
Yes, tons of students come back and visit again. Like even when they are in high school, when I
Yeah,
was working at the elementary school, they would
yeah,
come back and visit. But since they've gone on to college, some have graduated college, some have
yeah.
had their own families. I've had the privilege of seeing former students' children, and
Wow.
I'm working with them. So that makes me feel old, but it still is a good feeling.
What do you enjoy most with working with students? What do you enjoy about?
I think similar to what I previously said,
Yeah,
just being able to have a new challenge every
yeah,
day or seeing students grow from one place to the next, that has been really rewarding. Um, Everything that we do is a journey,
yeah,
and so we don't always get it right the first try,
yeah.
but just seeing them be committed to success is really rewarding.
Just to kind of understand how to approach someone or something like so, since you're a guidance counselor, this is a great opportunity for me and for others to learn. How do you usually approach helping students who are feeling overwhelmed or stressed?
I think the first thing that you do is just give them a safe space
Yeah,
to kind of unload and talk.
yeah,
Sometimes when people are having conversations, they are listening not to really hear what the
yeah,
person is saying, but sometimes they're looking for an opportunity to jump in. And that's not always what my approach is. A lot of the times,
yeah,
I'm really just listening to them so that they know that it's a safe space.
yeah,
I am very transparent with them, and I let them know that there are circumstances under which I do have to get someone else involved,
yeah,
like if they're trying to hurt themselves or if someone's hurting them or if they're going to hurt someone else, so that they understand that while I am loyal to them and I do want to honor their
yeah,
confidentiality, there are moments when I do have to break that. So just being honest, being transparent,
yeah,
but then also being consistent. I
yeah,
like to really build relationships with students. So students that are on my caseload, but also students that I see in the hallway that
yeah,
I don't necessarily service.
yeah.
Just building relationships with them is really important to me. So that's really the basis of my approach.
What are some common things you think students worry the most or have trouble with in high school?
I think some of the general concerns are post secondary planning. So, um, everyone will say how fast high school goes.
Yeah,
You know, you come in as a freshman and you're like, oh my gosh, every day I have to go to school. But then you blink and you're a senior, or you're
yeah,
looking at what you need to do once you graduate.
yeah,
So, some of those worries are always there. What they're going to do once they graduate. For some students, it's the home life.
yeah.
For some students, it's a financial concern. So it varies, but those are some of the common ones.
Yeah, like for me, I'm a senior now, and I was a freshman 3 years ago, but it doesn't feel like it. It
Right.
just it just went by so fast. What advice do you have to give to those students that feel stressed or overwhelmed or have trouble in high school?
So it depends on the concern. If it is something as far as planning for the future, I'm a big list person. I
Yeah,
love to make lists,
yeah,
and that's always my advice. Make a list because when you're trying to keep everything in your head, it can feel very overwhelming.
yeah,
But when you make a list and you see the things that you have already done and
yeah.
the things that you still need to do, it seems a little more reasonable and like, oh, I can tackle this.
That's actually great advice because there's sometimes when I'm thinking about the future, I'm like, oh, did I do this? Did I complete that? But then when I have a list, I'm
Yes,
keeping track of what I did,
right.
so it's easier to narrow it down. Um, how do you take care of your own mental well-being? Because you know you have to hear students, and sometimes it affects you as well.
Hmm.
How do you help yourself?
Well, I do enjoy hanging out with my friends
Yeah,
or my family. I, believe it or not, I have adopted a thing where when I come home, I sit in the car for like 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes longer, where I'm actually establishing a barrier
yeah,
between work
yeah,
and home.
yeah,
That's important. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I have found that when I do that, I'm a lot less stressed
yeah,
going into my home.
yeah,
And I think that there's something to be said about making sure that you have a little bit of boundary
yeah.
between work and home.
Yeah,
So
not
I
just as
do
a
that.
counselor, but even as a regular person that's working, you need
Everyone,
to have some type of boundary between work and home. You can't
yes.
bring the stress from work to home because now
Right.
you have your whole family being
Yeah.
stressed out. What's a resource you wish more students use throughout the
Hmm.
high school life?
Well, uh, actual resources like their counselors,
Yeah, I think a lot
using
of
them.
students don't do that. They just, you know, they're
Yes.
alone. They think
Hmm.
there's nobody to listen, but then
Right.
there's the counselors. That's why they have them.
Use counselors, use the teen center, use the other mental health professionals that are in the building,
Yeah.
like our SACs and social workers like Miss Allen. So, yeah. Mhm.
Well, let's get to know your high school life a little. What was your high school experience like?
Fast, like yours. But I really, really enjoyed high school. I am still friends
Yeah,
with a lot of my friends from high school. We have a great friendship. We're strong. We're solid. So
that's great.
that's great. High school was great. My classes were great. I actually went to Apsigami, so I'm not a Viking.
Yeah.
I'm a Viking now, but I wasn't a Viking when I was in high school. But yeah, it was a great experience, and I would not have changed anything
How are
about it.
you in classes wise, like study wise? Was you a
Hmm.
good person to catch things or?
I was a good student. However, I was not the most aware of like GPA and things of that
Yeah,
nature. But luckily, I was a good student. And so when I finally realized that I should be paying attention to my GPA, it was high enough where I was like, oh, okay, good. But if I wasn't, then I guess I would have been in trouble. But yeah, I was a good
were
student.
you involved in any clubs, sports, or activities in high school?
Yes. So we had an African American club at my school. I was a part of that. I was an officer in that. I also was on the basketball team and the
Oh
track
wow,
team, and I cheered a little bit too.
that's amazing. If you weren't a counselor, what other job do you see yourself doing?
So, growing up, I had several careers I was considering. At one point, I wanted to be a dentist. Another time, I wanted to be a podiatrist. But now I am interested in going into mortuary science. So, in terms of like being a funeral director.
Okay,
So,
that's great. You know, when you have when you I guess you know because when you have secondary plans, sometimes it's important because you never know what
absolutely.
can happen. What's one thing a student do that always makes you smile?
Mm. Um, Honestly, just when they speak, when
Yeah.
they're like, hey, Miss Jennings, that really does feel good because that's just a sign of a relationship being built.
Just to get another advice, what's one way to help students open up to you or somebody, like for example, a friend? How
Hmm.
can you make your friend or your student open up to you more so they can, you know, tell you whatever is going on?
I think, again, it's just about being a safe space, but maybe
Yeah.
not being pushy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to let them know that you're here if they do want to talk. Sometimes they take you up on that immediately, and sometimes they just kind of take that in, and then in 2 weeks they come and talk to you.
Yeah.
So,
Is there any fun or unexpected, you know, thing about your job that many students don't know about or many staff don't know about?
um, well, kids, students do say some of the wildest things. Probably can't repeat them,
Yeah.
but yeah, just every day it's something funny. I should do a book. I should write a book.
Have any students ever surprised you with anything funny, or have they ever pranked you?
Prank? Yes. Okay. So, do you remember when the "Just Give Me My Money"
Oh
challenge
yes,
was
yes.
out? So I was the person that they pranked with that. So
That was
yes,
very funny.
So that was Nelly and Sophia, and actually Sophia just saw me in the hallway yesterday and did the same thing. So
That's amazing. How did you feel about it? Did you catch it funny, or
well,
did you
it
get
was it
surprised?
was funny to me. It caught me off guard because I thought someone else was going to be who they were
Yeah.
tricking, but then it was on me. So and they thought it was funny, so I laughed.
What kind of music or hobbies do you enjoy outside of school?
Music, R&B, gospel, hip hop, but like late '90s, 2000s stuff.
Okay.
I mean,
I may
some of
not be
the
maybe
current,
familiar, but
yes, some of the current artists are good, but a lot of the stuff you're listening to
yeah,
now, they're sampling things that I grew up on. So
yeah, and sometimes it's even now crazier
yes, and I
because they
sing.
they include a lot of stuff that shouldn't be said.
Yeah,
Do you have any specific hobbies
I
besides
sing.
music?
Yeah, I sing. I shop. I probably shouldn't say that. I like to read. I like to try new restaurants, things of that
That's
nature.
great.
Travel.
While in high school, if you could give yourself a high school student an advice,
Hmm.
what would you do? I mean, you did say you didn't know about the GPA and
Hmm.
stuff like that. Is there any specific
Yeah.
thing other than that?
Honestly, I would say jump off the porch. That means like you should take calculated risks. I would definitely say that. Weigh your options, but don't be afraid to explore.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to try things that your family has never tried, that your parents have never tried. And if you want to do it, you have to plan in order to do it. So, like I said, take calculated risks. But yeah, jump off the porch.
well, this brings us to the last question. This went by so quick,
It did,
but
just
it
like high
was,
school.
yes, it was amazing. What advice would you give to those who wants to be a guidance counselor? What do you
um,
think they should be prepared for, and what is like a quick process?
So you'll have to have an undergrad degree, and then you'll go into your master's degree. If you don't have an undergrad degree in education, then when you're in your master's program, you might have to do more hours as
Yeah,
far as your internship, but you can still get your master's in school counseling. Um, so that's really the educational part of it. But in terms of once you're in the field, a lot of on-the-job training.
yeah,
No district is the same as the other. So whatever is specific to your district, you kind of have to figure out. Um, be a team player,
yeah,
work well with others, work with the other people in the building, meaning the teachers and our media specialists, like whoever it is that you're going to have to integrate with,
yeah,
have a strong relationship with, because at the end of the day, you're here to serve students,
yeah.
and everyone should be on that same page.
Thank you for the advice, and thank you for sharing your background
You're
and a
welcome.
lot of stuff. I learned a
I
lot. Hopefully, a lot of people did as well.
thank
Thank you
you.
for being here. I really appreciate giving me, your half an hour, 20 minutes time.
Thank you for the
I'm pretty sure
opportunity.
you were busy, but you still spent some time. That would be it for today's episode, everyone. We have another teacher that we'll be doing an episode with today, actually, later on. So stay tuned for that. Until then, have a great day.